When was your gut feeling actually right? My daughter's soccer coach kept offering her free private lessons after practice. Something felt wrong, but I couldn't explain why. He'd been coaching for years, all the parents loved him, and he never did anything inappropriate in front of us. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd tell me she had real potential, said the extra training would help her make varsity next year. Free coaching from someone with his experience seemed like an incredible opportunity. My daughter was excited about it too. She'd been struggling to keep up with the other girls who'd been playing since they were 5, but something nagged at me. The way he'd text her directly instead of going through me. How he insisted the sessions had to be at his house because the school fields were always booked. The fact that he only offered this to certain girls, never the boys' team he also coached. I started paying closer attention. He'd put his hand on her shoulder during practice, normal coach stuff, but hold it there a second too long. When parents weren't watching, he'd whisper things to the girls that made them giggle nervously. Nothing you could report, just little things that made my skin crawl. One night, my daughter mentioned he'd friended her on Instagram. I checked his profile. It was full of photos from team events, completely normal. But I noticed he only followed the teen girls he coached, none of the boys, none of the parents. His likes on their posts went back months, commenting on beach photos with fire emojis. I told my daughter no more private lessons. She threw a fit, said I was ruining her chances at making varsity, that all her friends got extra help and now she'd fall behind. I couldn't explain my reasons without sounding paranoid, so I just said we couldn't fit it in our schedule anymore. The coach texted me directly for the first time, said he was disappointed I was holding back such a talented player, that he'd even work around our schedule, come to our house if needed. The pushiness made my stomach turn. I politely declined again. 3 weeks later, another parent called me at 11 p.m. Her daughter had been getting private lessons for 6 months. That night, she'd borrowed her daughter's phone to take a photo and seen messages from the coach. Nothing explicit but weird. Asking what she was wearing to bed, saying he dreamed about her, telling her she was mature for her age. By morning, 5 more parents had similar stories. Messages that started about soccer but slowly shifted. Comments about their bodies disguised as fitness advice. Requests for photos to analyze their form that focused on weird angles. One girl said he tried to massage her legs after practice to help with soreness. The school launched an investigation immediately. They found deleted messages on his school laptop. Hundreds of inappropriate conversations with players going back 3 years. Photos he'd taken during practice that had nothing to do with soccer. A folder labeled favorites with pictures from the girls' social media accounts. He'd been grooming them slowly, starting with extra attention during practice, moving to private lessons where he'd gradually break down boundaries. Several girls admitted he'd eventually tried to kiss them or touch them inappropriately. They'd been too scared to say anything because he was so respected in the community. The detective who interviewed us said predators often choose coaching because it gives them access and authority. They build trust with parents first, establish themselves as mentors, then slowly normalize inappropriate behavior. The girls think it's normal because it happens so gradually. He got arrested 2 days later, 12 counts of inappropriate contact with minors. Turns out he'd been fired from his previous coaching job 3 towns over for similar suspicions, but nothing was ever proven, so it didn't show up in background checks. My daughter was angry at first. Then one of her teammates told her what happened during their private lessons. Now she thanks me for listening to my gut. She said she'd noticed weird things too, but thought she was imagining them because everyone said he was such a great coach. 23 girls came forward eventually. Some had been dealing with trauma for years, afraid to speak up because their parents had trusted him completely. The youngest was 11. Her parents had been so proud their daughter was getting special attention from such an accomplished coach. They never questioned why he insisted on closed-door sessions or why their daughter suddenly quit soccer altogether.